Right, welcome ladies and gents. You guys would have seen this floating around the internet, but it is, of course, the fact that Jennifer Lawrence is complaining about a $25 million payday because Leonardo DiCaprio made more. And is essentially just, this is movie industry 101 at the moment, right? It's people kind of co-opting movements and I guess kind of pressurizing this sort of equality perspective rather than understanding that people get paid, especially in the movie industry, you get paid for your value and draw. And Jennifer Lawrence isn't, I mean, that's a monumental payday anyway, huge payday, and she earns more than most men do in the industry, just as an FYI. Like, it's important to state that she's not a victim here. She's like, oh, I don't get paid enough because of my vagina. It's like, that's what? That is nonsense. And I tell you what is the most hilarious part of this is that she gets paid what she does because of her vagina. Because she's a woman and people find her attractive, and she was lauded over and considered a beauty because she's an attractive woman. But now all of a sudden, because you've starred in a string of flops, now it's a problem. Strange. Odd outlook to have, but let's take a look, right? So the Hunger Games actress Jennifer Lawrence has returned from her brief absence from public life, of course, in order to now complain about the wage gap. They did this with, so in the UK we have the BBC, the British Broadcasting, basically. And they did it there where they were complaining that other people earned more money. It's like, yeah, because they get more viewers. They get more viewers. They might do the same job, but they have a different level of draw. So you get paid for that. And it's something which you can actually sum up. You can equate to it. Funnily enough, reference something which we covered a lot here on the channel, this year, which was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, was they talk about that. They can quantify it into popularity. It's something which they have tools to measure. So it's quantifiable. So there is no wage gap in terms of what people do like for like, because no one does like for like. But of course, she would blame it for the fact that she got paid $5 million less than co-star Leonardo DiCaprio for Netflix's Don't Look Up. I mean, complaining over $5 million when you got paid $25 million. Kind of laughable. I mean, out of both of these individuals, you say Leonardo DiCaprio and you say Jennifer Lawrence, who out of those two is more of a household name? DiCaprio, obviously. Like, very clearly. But Lawrence has, of course, been quiet in the last couple of years, with the most recent film credit being the Adam McKay, Don't Look Up, and a final appearance as Mystique in Dark Phoenix. That's her most notable role, and then before that was, of course, the Hunger Games stuff. Don't Look Up was climate satire, but the film itself better described as a lecture about climate change, which concludes with audiences are morons for not doing enough to stop it. Included an ensemble cast, included Jonah Hill, Tyler Perry, Ariana Grande, Cate Blanchett, and Meryl Streep. But during a recent sit-down with Vogue magazine, Lawrence took exception to the fact that she only earned $25 million for the Netflix film compared to DiCaprio's 30, even implying that her genitalia was the reason she got paid less. I mean, it's not even implying it, she out and out stated it. It doesn't matter how much I do, I'm still not going to get paid as much as that guy because of my vagina. Yeah, but Jennifer, you got paid more than guys in that film. So you're not, and in other films you've got paid more than the guys that were your co-stars. And you're not, I don't see you complaining that they got paid less than you because of their pee-pees. A very strange stance to have. I mean, it's comical, of course. And this is the lunacy of these kind of arguments, because they just fall apart. They crumble like soft cheese. She was the lead. She's not as notable an actor as Leonardo DiCaprio, so she got paid less. I think that's understandable. Not substantially less. $5 million less. Fine, whatever. But I'm damn sure she got paid more than Jonah Hill did. Anyway, now this isn't the first time Lawrence has brought up her Don't Look Up paycheck. Back in December, she talked to Vanity Fair about the fact that DiCaprio was paid more than her. However, her tone at the time was far more understanding of the situation than it is now. Which is interesting that she sort of changed her tune. I guess it's because you've been offered no more roles. I don't know. And she would begin with a discussion about the fact that her name appeared before DiCaprio's in the film's opening credits. Lawrence explained to the magazine, "I was #1 on the call sheet. Am I okay with being #1 on the call sheet? Yeah. And I thought the credits should reflect that." Leo was very gracious about it. I think we had something called a Laverne and Shirley, which is billing they invented where it's an equal billing. Okay, so he was gracious as your co-star, your colleague. Interestingly, despite her recent complaints of gender inequality and her admission that DiCaprio was more than amicable to her aforementioned wish for top billing, Lawrence revealed at the time, "But I guess maybe somewhere down the line I kicked the stone further, like what if it wasn't equal?" However, confronted with the fact that DiCaprio made more than her, Lawrence actually admitted, "Look, Leo brings in more box office than I do," before adding that she was extremely fortunate and happy with my deal. This is at the time, by the way. Obviously, something's flicked in her head. And she's like, "Oh, no, I'm not happy with that now." Lawrence would admit to letting her anger towards these perceived instances of gender inequality ruin a number of her personal relationships. So she's this sort of insanity from these individuals about gender inequality and pay gaps and things. And again, like, let's make no mistake about this. This is not a pay gap. It's not. It's a value. DiCaprio is valued higher per hour, like billable hours, I guess. Imagine a consultant, you know, or just a brand. DiCaprio is a brand. However you want to look at it, that's why he gets paid more. So there is no inequality, but this strange perceived inequality of this wage gap that Lawrence, I've got some protein powder on my hand, that Lawrence seems to believe, just, it's lunacy. And now it's infecting her relationships. She would declare that she could no longer remain friends with people who are on the progressive side of the aisle. Lawrence proceeded to direct her disappointment towards Roe v. Wade being overturned at her Republican voting family members, including her father, who lived back in her hometown of Kentucky. Well, Louisville, Kentucky. "I just worked so hard in the last 5 years to forgive my dad and my family and try to understand it's different," she recalled. The information they're getting is different. Their life is different. I've tried to get over it and I really can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm just unleashing, but I can't F with people who aren't political anymore. Ugh. God, it's just painful, isn't it? You live in the United States of America. You have to be political. It's too dire. Politics are killing people. I don't want to disparage my family. You are. But I know that a lot of people are in a similar position with their families. You mean Hollywood lunatics who complain about $5 million because of apparently a vagina, even though you got paid more than most people. How could you raise a daughter from birth and believe she doesn't deserve equality? How? Because equality is a lie. Like, equality is a lie. Like, we can all, those of sound mind can agree with this. So equality is a lie. I am not equal to you, you are not equal to me, right? And you can't force that. There are inescapable moving facets of life which create inequality. Same as inequality of, like equality of healthcare, for instance, you know, like there just is, yeah, equality of health, not healthcare, sorry. So, you know, everyone has the same body. It's what you do with it which dictates your health. Sometimes, unfortunately, there are hereditary issues which take place. We are not equal. We cannot be equal. However, all you can do is create a scenario in which we are, you know, there's the equality of potential there. You can't force equality as the end result, but you can nurture a society which, you know, gives the potential across the board. That's all you can do. So you can have systems in place which equate to that and allow that to happen. But again, like, equality just is a lie. And I also think, again, I mean, even just coming down to your brain, right? Some people are smarter than others. That's an inequality, isn't it? Inequality of brains. These are just facets of life that people have to get on with. You know, I can't read a book as fast as some people. Some people can read a book in like a day. My goodness me. I'd love to be able to do that. I'm terrible as, at maths. I'm not going to complain that there's an inequality of mathematical skill across my generation. That's nonsense. I'm going to say, well, I have a good grasp of the English language, so I guess I made up for it there. I don't know. But this is part of the issue, is that these individuals, and again, youngsters now, because these people, are stars that spout this nonsense, trivial nonsense to young kids as well, is that they then look up to these people and go, I should have equality. It's like, no, the harsh reality is that equality is a lie. And with respect to this, you get paid what you're owed. What do you draw? Who goes to the movies to see who? No one goes... Yeah, sure, some people go to watch Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, sure, she's famous to a degree, but who's a bigger draw? DiCaprio. He's a bigger brand. He is a brand in and unto his own. So now I thought you'd find this very comical. Again, an individual that has rose to stardom because of her vagina, for dressing very scantily clad as Mystique. I have no issues flaunting around buttocks and things like that. And, now suddenly he's like, well, my vagina's getting me down. No, love. That's not how that works.